All right. Okay. I've started my screen sharing. If in case it's not visible for you, please let me know in the chat. Okay, guys, I again welcome you all. Today is the first day, the day one for Linux fundamentals. We are going to learn Linux from scratch, and this complete course is for the preparation of RHCSA examination. Okay, so in the RHCSA exam, you need to be well versed with Linux fundamentals, starting from the commands till the servers. Like there are like um, web server or database server, like that, the server applications. So you need to be well versed with how to configure end to end. Okay, the server development, sorry, server deployment and the application installation and configuration, right? So this is a 1 hour class, 5 days a week, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so we are going to cover the fundamentals of Linux in 50 hours. All right. Okay, so let's start for today. And guys, if you have any doubts in the middle, you can just type it in the chat or unmute yourself and get your doubts cleared. Okay. All right. So in the demo session, I mean, 2 days back, I told you that on day one, we are going to start with the virtual machine creation, right? And once we have the virtual machine ready, then we'll follow the slides one by one. So now let's go to that slide. And guys, whatever I'm using, like the slides or the notepad, so I'll be sharing a Google Drive link with you all, maybe in the student portal, you will get it there. So you can just simply download everything in advance, okay, like the PPTs and all. Yes, the daily notes will be uploaded on daily basis, like we have the class, and after the class, you can find the notes as well, okay? All right, so let's start. Hold on. All right, so just a quick brief. What is the Linux operating system? Linux operating system is just like any other another OS, like Windows. Even on your phones, you have Android, iOS. Okay, so operating systems are meant to utilize the hardware and get the job done. Okay, you can also install some applications on top of the operating system and then use them to handle business loads. For example, let's say Instagram, the app you use on daily basis multiple times. So how do you think that app is working? So the phone you're using, on top of it, on top of, let's say, Android or iOS, you have installed the app Instagram. That Instagram app will ask for the login. Once you log into the app, then it will pull some data from the servers. Okay. So on the server can be in any location, maybe in India locally or maybe some other country, doesn't matter. Okay. Big organizations like Facebook, they have servers in every country, even in every state and every country. Okay. So that you have seamless experience. Uh, the application is going to connect to the server, authenticate you, and then pull the data, right? So just like Instagram, the other companies, they also use some application for their business. This is how they earn money, right? So to handle the business load, like I said, Instagram, there are like billions of users. So it's not like you can use the Windows 10 or Windows 11 on the servers or the server hardware and then use it as a main operating system. No, it won't work like that. You need to have a specialized operating system which offers more functionality, which is oriented towards the business goals, right? One operating system, very popular, as I said, Windows Server, let's say 2021 or 2019, whatever is there as the latest version. Okay, I'm not into Windows, so that's why I don't really remember. But Windows Server is popular one. Okay, there are few drawbacks with Windows Server operating system. First of all, it is meant for servers. That's fine. And when I say server, a server can be the server hardware or the server software. What is a server software? Server software is that which is waiting for incoming request, and based on the incoming request, it will generate some output. Example, you use a browser, right? On the browser, you type google.com and then you get a result. So your browser is the client, and this google.com is running on a web server application. To be precise, let's say this google.com, there will be some IP for this google.com, right? Like 192 dot, no, not 192, 174.56.23.22. This is the IP address of the server, google.com. So this IP is applied on a hardware, right? So there will be some hardware. On top of this hardware, there is an operating system. And on top of this operating system, there is a web server application running. And this web server application is designed to listen, or we can say, cater the incoming request. So browser is going to connect not to this operating system, but to this web server. And web server is going to respond back with the home page of this website to the browser. So browser is the client and web server is the actual server, not the hardware, right? Okay, so just like Windows Server 2019 or any other, there is a drawback with Windows Server, and that is when you update the servers, most of the times, as per my experience, I'm telling you, most of the times, the patches or the updates are faulty or have some bugs, due to which maybe application stops working or the server itself stops working, right? So it's a very, delicate activity to update the servers. Secondly, you just cannot run Windows Server non-stop. Okay, so non-stop means for longer duration, let's say for 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, it's not possible. You have to reboot it. And recommended is once in a month. Okay. Whereas Linux. So right now, I'm just giving you layman example so that you are able to understand from scratch. Okay. Linux server. This, if Linux is installed on any hardware, so that hardware, that server can run for years without reboot, and the updates are also stable. Okay, it's a very low probability that you get a faulty update or a buggy update. Okay, so it's very rare, but in Windows it happens even with your laptops. So let's say a new update arrived, and after 2 days you get to hear a news: this update is buggy, something is not working, Wi-Fi stopped working. Then Windows is going to release another update. Microsoft will release another update to fix that problem, right? So this is carried forward to the servers also, and that's why Windows teams are always on their toes. And whenever they are updating the servers, they already contact Microsoft as well, the support team, if anything goes wrong. If anything goes wrong, they immediately connect and then get it resolved, right? Okay, so Linux is preferred when the business demands are bit complex, or we can say it's resource intensive. There is a lot of traffic on the website, and it needs good processing, good server to handle all the requests. So Linux server will be preferred over there. These days, Windows Server is preferred for central authentication, or we can say a central management system using AD, Windows AD, Windows Active Directory. Again, it's a software installed on Windows Server. Its job is to manage all the other servers in the project, in the network, as client. And then you can manage all of them with Windows AD, like user authentication. You just create the user in AD, and the user can log into all other 100 servers. Okay, so that is AD. Although you can also join Linux servers to the AD. We'll be discussing all these things in detail. I'm just giving you an overview just to give you an idea why Linux, why is this Linux preferred over Windows. Okay. Right. Okay. Go to the slide now. Okay. So how to install Linux or Red Hat Enterprise Linux on a virtual machine. Remember, guys, we are learning Red Hat Enterprise Linux. And if you wish, you can also book the exam, which is RHCSA, and you'll be able to clear it because we are going to practice accordingly. Okay, so how to install Red Hat Enterprise Linux on a virtual machine? What is a virtual machine? A virtual machine, we can say it's another system on top of your running, operating system. Example, I'm running Windows right now. It's Windows 11. So on this Windows 11, I can have another operating system running with the help of a virtual machine. It will act as a so it will act as a another system, another box we can say. Okay. All right. So before you deploy the virtual machines, you need few things. Number one, you need the operating system installer DVD. This is also called DVD ISO, DVD.iso file. Okay. So this ISO is required. This is going to be around 9 or 10 GB size. Second, you need a virtualization platform where you are going to create a virtual machine. So I'm going to recommend you VMware Player. VMware Player is free to use. There are more versions also available like VMware Workstation Pro, which is for professionals and it's a paid version. Going forward, I'm going to help you with the differentiation, what is better and what offers good features and all, like that. So VMware is the main organization who has developed VMware Player, VMware Workstation, even the vSphere. vSphere solution is used on the enterprise, or we can say in the companies. Okay, it can handle hundreds of servers, thousands of servers. But VMware Player, one server at a time, or VMware Workstation, few servers at a time. Okay, although there are more options available in the market, for example, Hyper-V from Microsoft and Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, so these two softwares are also available. But as a fresher, as a beginner, I would recommend you guys to use VMware Player, right? Okay, so let's start with the DVD ISO. How to get this DVD ISO? Remember, guys, Linux is free to use, right? So you can download, you can get this RHCL9 DVD.iso file for free. That's not a problem. But when you install Red Hat 9 and if you wish to update your system, update your virtual machine, the updates are not free. Okay, they are paid. You need to pay a subscription fee. Not you, but companies need to pay subscription fee. And then they get the updates from the Red Hat server. Red Hat server will provide the updates. Okay. What about us? We are learning Red Hat right now. How are we going to do that? So we can do that by getting a free license or free subscription. Okay, so we will get a 1 year free subscription, which you can renew after 1 year when it expires. You just simply click on renew. It will renew. Keep on renewing year after year, and you can run 16 virtual machines with one free license. Right? Okay, so how to get this RHEL9 DVD? Let me share the link here in the chat as well. So this is a link from Red Hat itself. It's a blog page. Check the chat, guys. So it's a blog page, and let me also open in my browser. Okay, so it says no cost RHEL developer subscription now available. Okay, so it started with Red Hat version 8. Now we are on Red Hat version 9. Still, you can use this. Okay, you just have to scroll down. If you wish to read everything, just go ahead. Otherwise, scroll down to the part where it says go get it and then click on download. I'm going to use open in new tab. Okay, so when you click on download, you will get this page. Now the problem is you have to be logged in to Red Hat portal or the Red Hat website. Otherwise, it will ask you to log in or sign up. Okay, so you see this red button. It says download RHEL at no cost. So don't worry about login and registration, because when you click on download RHEL, red button, it will automatically take you to the login page, just like this. I have the account, I can fill in my details. What about you? You can register. For the first time, if you are visiting this page, register. Register for a free Red Hat account. It's simple, just click on it. It will open a page, a form, fill in the values, and that's it. You will be registered and you will get 1 year free license. That's it. Simple. You register and you get the license for 1 year. Okay. So choose a Red Hat login, choose a strong password, fill in your information, share the details, those details which you want to share. Otherwise, do not. Okay. For example, the let's say the address, my house address. Okay. So just share as the bare minimum stuff, right? Don't just simply give everything. All right. So start with your name, last name, first name, last name, email ID, phone number, and just check all the red asterisks. It means it is required. So don't miss the required fields. If you're not working anywhere, sorry, if you're working anywhere and you wish to share your position, your job role, from the drop down, you can select it. Otherwise, uh, I mean, you can select any dummy value, right? Then simply company name if you wish to share. If you're working, okay. If not, then you can simply mention NA, not applicable. Choose the country, address, pin code, and all everything. Okay, and then make sure you agree the terms and conditions and create my account. Right. So you have to check one, two, three, last three options, and then create my account option. Once you click create my account, go back to your email ID and check the email because you have to verify your email ID, right? Click on the verification and then it's okay. Then you are ready. Okay, so this is one time activity. Make sure you save the login ID and password somewhere safe because we will be using this again and again, right? So assuming that you have registered, go back to this link again, click on download. Again, download RHCL at no cost. Click on it. It will again ask for your username password. This time you have it. So you can fill in the details. All right, done. Okay, it says it is asking for some more information. I don't know why it's asking, but still, let me automation architect. This is my current role. Actually, this is the real role. I'm the automation architect. Submit. Oh, I see. It seems my subscription was expired yesterday, and now I'm again on this page. That's why it's saying to fill in some details. Right. So now you see a save as box dialog box opened automatically. Now it says RHL 9.3. Okay, so you can save it. I'm going to use D drive because I have sufficient space over there. Click on save. Depending on the internet speed, it may take some time. Oh, it is downloading boot.iso. No, I'm looking for the proper ISO. So this is not the correct download. Hold on. If the download is less than 10 GB or 9 GB, cancel that download. Okay. So let me check. Why did it started the boot ISO, which is not required? Let me click on download again. Let's see. Again, boot ISO. No, no, no. Click on blue link. No, this is not the correct. More ways. Okay. So here it says RHCL Linux ISO server. Okay. Customize RHCL. Migrate from CentOS. Okay, so you have to focus on this part, this one. Okay, so I'm not sure why it is happening. It should ideally download this one, RHL 9, 9.3, x86-64. This should happen automatically. But I don't know what's happening. It is downloading a different boot ISO, which is just 800 megabytes. So click on this link. Okay, finally it says RHEL 9.3 x86-64. It means 64-bit. DVD.iso. Now, this is the correct file, and it is going to be approximately 9 or 10 GB. And as you can see, it's 9.8 GB. So as per my internet speed, it's going to take 16, 17, 18 minutes, 20 minutes. Yeah, approximately 20 minutes. Okay, so let it happen in the background. Okay. At the same time, let me do one thing. In fact, let me pause because I already have an older version. Okay, so this is first thing. Once you have this 9.8 GB file ready, then move on to the next part, which is download the VMware player. Okay, again, I'm going to share the link. It's already there in the PPT, but let me show you also how easily you can get it. Just go to the search engine, Google, type VMware player download. Okay. First link, download VMware Workstation Player. This is the one we are looking for. Scroll down. You have to click on try Workstation 17 Player for Windows. Click on download now. It will automatically start the download, as you can see. Okay, so let me share the link here. Copy the link, copy link address. Okay, so you click on it, it will download, double click and install. So you have to install VMware Player. Once it is done, maybe your operating system says a reboot required. So simply reboot the machine, reboot your laptop or the desktop. Okay. And when the system is up again, search for VMware Player in the start menu. And here it is, the yellow icon, VMware Workstation 17 Player. Click on open and you will get the home page of this application. This is the home page of the application. On the left hand side, you will see nothing except this one option, home. In my case, I have 3 virtual machines created, right? So in your case, it will be blank. On the right hand side, you have the options to create a new virtual machine or open a virtual machine. What is this option? Open a virtual machine. It means if you have saved a virtual machine in the form of a template, you can use the template and redeploy the machine. Using a template and deploying a machine is way quicker. Within 1 minute or 2 minutes, virtual machine will be ready, which means you have to first deploy operating system, install the operating system, configure the machine, and convert it into a template. That is only possible with VMware Workstation Pro, not with Player. Player has limitations. Okay, so but I'll also show you how to do that in the upcoming classes. Okay, and then upgrade to the Pro version. Obviously, it's paid, license based. You need to pay some money, and then you can upgrade to Pro. Not right now, obviously. We need to first understand the basics. Then we can, then you can upgrade to Pro, or you can use uh, a cracked version, which I don't really recommend. Okay. All right. So create a new virtual machine. You have to click on this option. Now this dialog box will open. It is a kind of a wizard. Wizard is something when you click next, 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 finish. That is called wizard. Okay. So this wizard, page number 1 is asking for the DVD file using which operating system needs to be installed. But do not attach the DVD yet. Although you have the second option, installer disk image file. Don't do that. Okay, select the third one. Third option says, I will install operating system later. Why are we choosing this? Because VMware is smart. It can detect the operating system from the DVD and it can automatically start the installation without the human intervention. Okay. So if you don't bother about the installation, you use the DVD and click next. It will ask for some username, password, and then it will start automatically the installation. You don't have to do anything. But we are learning Linux. We need to understand how installation works. What are different options? Because you will be doing the same when you are actually working, right? So we need to select the third option. I will install OS later. Click on next. Next one. It is asking what type of OS you are going to install. Obviously, it will be Linux. So click Linux, and the version will be Red Hat Enterprise Linux 9 64-bit. Okay, so just select it in advance because you're telling the virtual machine that I'm going to install this operating system later, not now. Click on next. Give a name to your virtual machine. I'm going to give like April. This is April batch, right? And a location. just make sure you choose a location where at least 20 GB or 30 GB is free. Okay, so I'm going to choose D drive. I don't like saving in C because C is backed up on Google, not Google, but Microsoft OneDrive, and it is limited. So I use D drive and then virtual machines, and here I can say /April. Make sure you save the virtual machine in a folder. Okay, not in open. So it's dedicated folder, right? So just type the folder name and that's it. Next. Okay. Now this page is asking you how much hard disk you want to attach to your virtual machine. See, the virtual machine is a virtual hardware. Okay, CPU, RAM, disk, everything will be part of this virtual machine. Not real, the virtualized hardware. Okay, so it's asking for how much hard disk you want to attach. 20 GB is more than enough. So click on next. And this is a summary. If in case you are not happy with the RAM, which is 2 GB, which is okay, or maybe the CPU, total CPUs, it says 2 CPUs, which is also okay. If you want to allocate 4 CPUs, 4 GB RAM, you click on customize hardware and make the changes. Like the memory, click on memory. Using the slider, you can go up and down. My system has a 32 GB maximum memory on the laptop, so I can scroll it up to maximum 32 GB. It allows me to go till here 32 GB. In your case, it will be if your laptop has 4 GB, it will give the signal till 4 GB only. Okay, so choose wisely. Minimum is 1 GB required, maximum as per the available RAM. Processors, 2 is more than enough. Okay, but if you're having a latest generation laptop, you will be having, I think, 12 virtual processors or 16 virtual processors. Like you see in my case, I have 22 virtual processors. So in the task manager, you go to performance and then CPU, count how many boxes are there, or just read logical processors 22. So I can easily allocate two. Two is nothing. I have 20 remaining working for operating system Windows, right? So see, for my machine, it's fine. And then you have to you have to finish this. Click on finish. That's it. A blank virtual machine without any operating system, but virtual hardware will be prepared. And you can see by the name April. Okay, so now you have to start this virtual machine, power on this virtual machine, and install the operating system. How to install? Now we can install OS by attaching the DVD ISO on the DVD drive, the virtual DVD drive. So right click on your virtual machine, settings, and here you will see the virtualized hardware CD DVD. Click on it. And now here you see the option use ISO image file. Select and browse the ISO image. You just download it, the 9 GB or 10 GB file. Okay. So it is in downloads. This is the file, the ISO file, right? Click on OK, and that's it. Now you're ready. Now you can simply power on and the installation menu will appear. Select the installation option, install Red Hat option, and there you go. So let's do that. So how to start this machine? Two ways. Right click, power on, or you see this play virtual machine button, click on it. Both ways it will work. So here it is, the menu. It says install Red Hat Linux 9.1, or second option is test this media and then install. What is test? Test means if you are using an actual DVD, there may be some scratches on the DVD, right? So before you proceed with installation, why not to check the DVD for scratches, for data inconsistency. So that is testing the media. We are using an ISO file, so we don't care about it. Simply use the first option, press enter. Any doubts till now? Any questions? Also, guys, let me know if you feel my speed is little fast because I am dealing with multiple batches in a day. Okay, so if there is issue with the speed, teaching speed, let me know. I'll slow down. So what's happening right now? Right now, some data from the DVD is being loaded into the RAM, and it will start the setup or the installer of Red Hat Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system. That setup or the installer, it has a name and it is called Anaconda, right? As you can see here, Anaconda version 34, okay, is started. So now very soon you're gonna get the GUI for the installation. So Anaconda is going to present you some options and then you can select it. Okay, so this is the installer Anaconda. Page number 1 says select the language and the location. So first of all, English I'm going to select. English US, this is fine. Click on continue. The continue is here, blue button. It will take you to the page number 2 where you will have more options like this. Can I go full screen? No, I cannot. All right. Okay, so there are how many options? 3, 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13. 13, 14 options are here. And don't worry, you don't have to just make changes in every option. Okay. The important options are already highlighted with exclamation mark. It says automatic partition selected, root account is disabled, no user will be created, which means you have to make some changes here. But still, let me go through all the options one by one. First option is keyboard. This is under localization, right? Keyboard, US, English US layout is fine. If you wish to have a different layout keyboard based on your language, you can change it. Second is language support. For me, English US is fine. But if you wish to have a different language, select it from here. Just click on it and select the language. When you make the changes, click on done. At the top left, you see done, blue icon, blue button. Third option, date and time. RHL 9 or Red Hat 9 is smart enough to detect your time zone. So it already selected Asia Kolkata for me. I'm in India, so obviously, right? No changes required here. If in case it is not picking up the correct time zone, you can click on this option, world map appears, and based on your location, click on it. Let's say if I click here in Sri Lanka, it says Asia Colombo. Colombo is the capital of Sri Lanka, right? But I'm in India, I can select India, it will automatically select Kolkata. Asia Kolkata is the time zone, right? Click on done. So I'm not making any changes right now. Okay, it is just I'm showing it to you what options you may get. Then the second column, connect to Red Hat. Now this is required if you want to install the latest updates during the installation. Although we don't do that, we do it later, not immediately. So we will connect to the Red Hat when it is required, not now. Installation source, it says local media. Installation source is like you want to install operating system from maybe the pen drive or the DVD ISO. So I'm using DVD ISO, so I'll not be making any changes here, right? Third option is software selection. Now by default, it says server with GUI. It means when you finish installing Red Hat, you will get GUI out of the box. But you have other options as well, like server. This is without GUI, graphical user interface. Then minimal install means no GUI and the basic functionality of OS will be installed. This option uses less hard disk space, okay, for the installation. And then there are 2, 3 more options, which I'll cover later, not now. So we'll be using the first server with GUI, okay. So again, no changes. Now this one, automatic installation destination. It means where to install Red Hat Linux, on which hard disk. Maybe there are 3 hard disks connected. So that's why we have to make the selection here. Click on this option. It will show you the 20 GB hard disk which you added. And it says storage configuration. Automatic is selected, and then there is custom. You can select custom when you know the fundamentals of partitioning, file system, LVM. Right now, you don't have any clue. We are freshers, right? So we select automatic, which is already there. Automatic already selected. That's fine. You can simply click on done. So I did not do anything. I just opened the option Make sure automatic is there, selected, and then click on done. Okay. Then there is kdump. Kdump is called kernel dump. We will discuss this later. Don't do anything here. Second last, network and host name. Now this is important. Uh, see, we are learning Linux right now, so we need not to care about IP addressing and all. We simply click on this option and make sure Ethernet is on. What is Ethernet? So on this virtual machine, there is a virtual network adapter, or we can say the network port where you connect the LAN cable. Okay, so a virtual network adapter is there, and that is called Ethernet port. It has a name. It is called ENS160. There is only one adapter. Okay, it is called ENS160, and you see this. It is on. Okay, it is not off. It is on. When it is on, it will get an IP address automatically from the DHCP server, which is running in Windows. Okay, and you can see 192.168.106.132. If you do not understand IP addresses, no worries. Just follow the instructions. We will be covering IP address and everything later. Okay. All right. Next one, host name. The last option here. Uh, Host name means the name of your machine. Just like you have a name on your laptop, even on your phone, there will be a name which you can also change. Okay. So similarly, every server will have a name. Mostly the organizations use a specific pattern to name the servers. And the name of the server is like this. The naming convention is like this. Country initials. Second is the platform. Then the server number. Okay, let's say for a company, the server is in USA. The country initial is US. Platform is Windows. So Win. And the server number is 20. So 20. So server name becomes US Win 20. Another example, the country is India, IN. Windows, instead of Windows, now we have Linux. So LIN for Linux. And the server number is 45. So IN 45. This will be the server name. Okay. So this happens in the industry. It's a normal practice. So you can also be familiar with it and just try to name your machine accordingly. For now, I'm going to name it as April because this is April batch. Okay. April, and hit apply. And that's it. You have set the host name. You have set the IP address, which is already there. Click on done. And lastly is security profile. You don't have to make any change here. Leave it as it is. Okay, so we are not making any changes. It's just we should be aware of these options. Last two things. Root password. It is asking to set a root password. What is root? Just like in Windows, there is a super user or the administrator called administrator. So if you log in as administrator user, you will have full control on Windows laptop or Windows server, and you can do anything. Okay, so administrator is the super user, can do anything. Similarly, in Linux, the administrator username is not used. Instead, root is used. So root is the administrator in Linux servers, or we can say it is the super user, have all the powers, can do anything on the server, can remove any file, can install any application. So user management, hard disk management, application management, everything can be done as a root user. Okay. But the thing is, okay, if I compare it with Windows, you have your laptop. So when you log into your laptop, you log in as yourself. Like I log in as Amit. Okay. So you log in as yourself, not as administrator. Although you can run applications as administrator. Let me show it to you. Let me click on start. Let's say open this, let's say Spotify, right click, run as administrator. So I can run certain applications as administrator even without login. So this application will run as if admin is running. Similarly, in Linux, we can do that. We can run some commands as root user, which I'll tell you how later, not right away. Okay. So root user password we need to set. Without root user, you cannot log into the system. So root user password I'm going to set as Red Hat. It's a weak password, but it will work for this practice. Okay. So Red Hat I'm using. Since I'm using a weak password, I have to click on done 2 times. Okay, done, done. Now the password is set. Lastly, there is user creation option. So as I said, we always log in as ourselves. We don't log in as root or administrator. Okay. So we have to create our username. So create user, click. I'm going to use a name which is student. I use this name as a generic name. You can also use the same name student so that we all are on the same page. Okay. And don't forget to select this option which says make this user administrator. What will happen? It means this user can run some commands or application as root user, right? Then give a password. I'm going to give the same Red Hat for this user as well. Okay. And that's it. Click on done 2 times and you're ready for the installation. See, if I haven't explained you all these options, so on this page, I will just spend 20 seconds at max. Click on installation destination, done. Click on network, give the host name, done. Root password, Red Hat, done. User creation, student, Red Hat, done. That's it. Okay. And then click on begin installation. Now this installation is going to take at least 20 minutes because we are installing with GUI. It means the installation size will be more than 8 or 9 GBs. Okay, so installing 8, 9 GB files is going to take some time. So let me just minimize it and open virtual VMware player again so that I can start a new machine just to show you how it looks like when it is done. Okay. So let me open this machine for the March batch. As you can see here, I want to show you how it looks like when it is installed. Okay. So play this virtual machine. Okay. So when this machine starts up properly, you will get a username which you just created, student. Click on it, fill in the password Red Hat, and just wait for the desktop to appear, the wallpaper and all. And there you go. So this is the homepage, the desktop of Red Hat version 9. The screen is small, right? You can increase the size. Just simply click here, enter full screen mode, and that's it. So this is the full screen. It works as if you're running a second operating system, although it's a virtual machine. You can do everything. You can browse the internet. You can uh, do all sort of things which you can do on your laptop. Okay, but we are here to practice. So we'll focus on the core administration, how to manage users, how to manage hard disk, all those things. Any doubts, any queries till now?
Uh, One question, Amitji.
Yes, yes, please.
Manohar this side.
Hi, Manohar.
Uh, so, are we still using virtual boxes on real scenarios since cloud has came and we have Linux machines available in cloud, correct?
Yeah, your point is absolutely valid. Are we still using? Yes, the old projects, or we can say the old organizations which are still using legacy solutions, they are still on physical servers, virtual servers, and they are planning for the migration to the cloud. And planning for the migration sometimes is very costly. So they just keep on postponing it. Okay, for example, my project, my organization is a service based organization. and has access to all the latest technology. But it is catering to a old client, like 20 years old client. They just keep on renewing the contract after every 5 years. They're happy with this service, right? So they
Right.
are happy with their physical server setup. They're happy with their virtual server. If it ain't broke, why to change? So it's working for them. Okay, so the moment they realize the need of newer technology, maybe for cost saving or something like that, they're gonna ask us to start the migration. And as I said, migration takes human effort. It is expensive because it's not just servers are being migrating. It's all about the data as well. Data on the disks. Disks are not physical disks. I'm talking about the SAN storage. Okay. SAN storage or maybe NAS storage that has to be reconfigured as per the cloud. And the same cloud will not be functional. They have to go for hybrid cloud. There is a complexity. So they just want to avoid all that chaos. That's why, most of the companies are still on virtual platforms, not on VirtualBox, obviously. VirtualBox is more or less for us end users. They use VMware, vSphere, okay, which is for managing hundreds of servers, or they are on, let's say, Citrix, or maybe RHEV from Red Hat. There is a solution called Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization. Okay, so many platforms are available for virtualization. The leader right now is VMware Player, okay, which has been recently acquired by Broadcom, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So all the physical servers are managed with the help of virtual boxes or virtualization, I say, right?
Yeah. So there are two scenarios basically. When we talk about physical server, you can use physical server in two ways.
Okay.
So either you directly install RHEL, let's say version 8 or 9 on top of it, and then
Okay.
install the server application, let's say a database server, DB server, and start using it. This is one way.
Okay.
Another way is the other option you have is use a hypervisor. Hypervisor is a specialized operating system which will allow virtual machines to be created on top of it, and the virtual machines have direct access to the hardware.
Okay.
Okay, so when virtual machine can directly access hardware, it means it works as good as a physical server. So virtual machines and physical servers, performance-wise, you won't find any difference, in the speed or in the processing, whatever it is, you won't find any difference because of this hypervisor. And this hypervisor is again from the virtualization platform. VMware will provide you a hypervisor by the name ESXi. Okay.
Okay.
So EXSI 7 or 6 is the latest version, maybe 7. Yeah, maybe 8 is the latest version. Okay. So it is a specialized operating system which will be installed. Okay, coming back to the laptop. What are we doing here on the laptop? We are using VMware Player. What is this? Is this a hypervisor? Because it is also allowing us to deploy a virtual machine and it's running fine. Yes, it's a hypervisor
Right.
and it is called Type 2 hypervisor. Okay. So
Okay.
VMware Player is a Type 2 hypervisor. What is the difference and what is Type 1? This ESXi is Type 1. Type 1 allows virtual machine to access the hardware directly without the intervention of the, the intermediate operating system. Okay. But in the Type 2, like I'm using a Windows, on top of Windows, I installed VMware Player. And on top of this VMware Player, I have installed Linux operating system, RHEL. Now, if Red Hat Linux operating system wants to access the network, so it has to go through Windows. So RHEL will request VMware Player to grant access to Windows to the network, and VMware Player will request Windows to grant access to the network. And this is how this virtual machine will get the network access, which means there is some latency, there is some delay. Okay, so that's why these virtual machines are slow, obviously, because it cannot just directly access the hardware. We have a underlying operating system in the middle, the host operating system, Windows. And this Red Hat is called guest operating system. Okay, so this is the guest OS, this is the host OS, and host OS is managing the guest OS. This is type 2 hypervisor, VMware Player, VirtualBox, Hyper-V, like that. On your laptop, I'm talking about.
Okay, understand.
right?
But in real time, we'll have type 1 hypervisors,
Yes,
correct?
absolutely. As I said, the physical servers can be used in two ways. Either install a full-fledged operating system, Windows, Linux, or use hypervisor and then deploy, let's say, 20 machines on this physical server.
Correct, correct.
Physical servers normally have a good configuration, like at least 48 CPUs. This is nothing. 48 CPUs is nothing. And 128 GB RAM. Again, this is nothing. We have servers with terabytes of RAM.
Okay,
Okay, so we can deploy at least 20 or 25 virtual machines here without any problem. They will all run smooth, as good as a physical server. So why not to use this physical machine, make good use of it, install virtual machines, right?
right.
Yeah. But this is for everyone, guys. Sometimes there is a dependency on the installation, sorry, on the application. Let's say you're using some application which needs physical server. It cannot run properly on a virtual machine. Then you have to use a physical server, no matter what the cost is. For example, backup servers. Data is really important, right? Let's say in my project, for example, there are 3,000 Windows servers and 1,000 Linux servers. All are virtual machines. Okay, few of them are physical. Let's exclude them. Let's say all of them are virtual machines. Now, these all virtual machines, data is really critical. This is all related to business. If some machine goes down or data gets lost, this is pure loss to the business in millions, not even in thousands, in millions. So the data backup is really important. Even in the contract, when the contracts are signed, the first thing mentioned is the backup. The data has to be backed up with 100% SLA. SLA means they cannot just afford a backup failure of even a server. Okay, although the backup SLA is 99.9, there is a scope of failure. That's fine, that is operational, but they just want to tell that we cannot afford backup miss. So all the servers need to be backed up, which means this is a highly critical operation. For such operations with high priority and client focus, physical servers are used. They can be used multiple physical servers working for same, which is called clustering. Okay, as a cluster also they can be used. In fact, in my organization, we have backup servers. They're running on physical machines in a cluster, and this is how they achieve 100% backup. Every server is backed up every day, once in a day, once in 24 hours. Sorry, once in 12 hours. So it is two times a day, once in 12 hours, right? So it is not only for my organization. The moment you start working, you'll realize, okay, things are almost the same. So throughout this course, I'll be sharing my experiences, starting from my fresher days to till date, and as an automation engineer on Linux operating system. So what challenges were there, or what are the points to understand and remember before you enter into the industry? Okay, there is one more thing called ITIL, which I'll explain you maybe tomorrow. So ITIL is something that you wouldn't know out of the college, maybe in the institutes if you are learning. Okay, maybe in your college there is a teacher or a professor who is straight from the industry. Maybe he left the job, he was working in any IT company, he left the job. Then he or she may be able to explain how the things work, okay, in any organization, right? So my point is, when we are learning Linux, we have to learn as per the industry standards. Okay, it's not only the Linux operating system, it is also about the security part, how the servers are kept secure. It's all about the data security as well, data quality and network security. There are so many aspects. So one by one, when we reach the topics, I'm going to explain you how things work, right? All right. Let's check on the machine. What is the status? It's still gonna take at least 10 more minutes. Okay. Okay, let me go to the machine which is already deployed. It will look exactly the same. Let me go through some options here. At the top, you have activities. It is just like start button in Windows. Difference, it is at the top left corner. Start button is at the bottom left. Click on activities. A dock will appear from bottom. Okay, so this dock will appear from bottom. And here some applications are pinned, or we can say Yeah, pinned is the correct word. So Firefox is there. Yes, Firefox also works on Linux. There is one thing called terminal, and then there is files, this blue icon files. Files is like my computer. Okay. And then terminal. Let me show you this terminal first. Adjust font. Hold on. Custom font. 20 pixels. Yeah. So this is the terminal where we are going to learn Linux operating system administration with the help of commands like this. Okay. So I'm running commands and getting some output. Can't I use the GUI which is there? Yes, I can use, but that will be slow. I have to first click on activities, then find the application I'm looking for. Maybe I opened a different application, then close it, go back to activities again, and then find the correct one this time, and then it opens, then it will show us the information. So the information you see here is exactly the same which you see here. Let me stack them side by side. Okay. So in the command line, it is just one single command df-h, and you see the information. But in the GUI, you have to do at least 3-4 clicks in order to reach the correct application and then analyze the data, right? Okay, so also guys, our head or our mind is tuned for Windows. Windows provides intuitive GUI, which means end user has to work less. All the work or all the hints will be given at the GUI level. You don't have to just browse here and there. Most of the commonly used options are at a single page. For example, uh, let me go to the settings. So on the settings, you have everything in one place now, right? You can browse through the settings on the left, tune the values on the right. Okay. Previously, it was like control panel, go to the control panel, make the changes and all. But still, working on the command line is way more faster than working on a GUI. Also, when we connect to the servers, real servers, it's recommended to use a CLI connection, command line based connection, not GUI connection. So tomorrow I'll explain you all these things, why it is preferred like this. And yeah, so maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we start with the commands as well. Okay. Okay, guys. So this is it for today. We are almost,
Can I,
yeah, we are almost done. Yes, please.
sorry,
Yes.
can I ask a question?
Yes, please. Yes,
So,
yes.
is there a way to take a snapshot of a freshly installed VM, just in
Yeah.
case maybe later on you do a lot of practice, you got a lot of stuff in there, you want to just go back to the to just a fresh installation?
Yes, absolutely. That option is available with VMware Workstation Pro. Unfortunately, with VMware Workstation Player, which is free, there is no such option. On the other hand, if you choose to install Oracle VirtualBox, then you will get the option for the snapshots, and then you can have it. You can just save a snapshot for maybe if you want to revert it back to the original state, you can do that. Okay, so snapshots are available in VirtualBox and Workstation Pro, not in the player.
Okay, thank you.
In the Hyper-V as well, there is a snapshot option. All right, so installation is also complete. So let's do one thing. Let's uh, reboot the system tomorrow itself. I'll just suspend this so that we resume it from here. Okay, and then tomorrow we're going to start from the slide number 1. I would recommend you guys, if you have time today, just try to install this virtual machine. It may take more than an hour. See, I'm used to it. I have the experience. That's why it was really quick for me. For most of you guys, it's gonna be a fresh start. Maybe for the first time you are installing a VMware player, right? So take your time. This video should be available after a few minutes or a couple of hours. Not couple of hours, maybe within an hour, this video will be processed and uploaded. Okay, so check this video and try to replicate the steps. Tomorrow, if you have any doubts regarding the installation or you have any trouble, let me know. I'll do the screen share and then I'll try to fix the problem for you. Okay. All right.
Amit, I have one question.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. Actually, where do I get this file 9.1 installation? Because I don't find this 9.1 version and Red Hat
Actually,
developers.
9.1. This 9.1 I'm using is a 6-month-old DVD.
Okay.
The latest one is 9.3, so you'll be downloading 9.3 automatically.
Okay. And one
Yeah.
more thing, these slides, how do I get? I mean, this file and this
Yes.
video.
So by tomorrow, I'll be preparing the Google Drive for this class, and then I'll share the link, and then you can download all the things immediately.
Okay.
So tomorrow also I'll explain you what material do we have for the class, like ebooks or some extra courses like Python or Ansible. I'll be explaining all these things.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, guys. So let's connect tomorrow then. Till then, bye-bye. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah, good night. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manohar.